By way of quick overview of the bill itself, it's responsive, like I said, to the Governor's Task Force on the Prevention on School Bullying. And the major findings of that task force in that report are that A, we repeal our current ineffective statute. It accomplishes nothing for kids in our schools. And the goals are, of course, to replace that with a law that assists students, parents, and school personnel, communities, collaborating agencies to more effectively identify and respond and then prevent bullying behaviors in our schools. Creation of clear and consistent baseline policies in our schools to address bullying, harassment, intimidation in every school, to make sure that every child is equally protected in every school environment throughout the state. Make sure that there's a means by which we can implement those and communicate those policies among and between school personnel, students, parents, the community, and a means by which we can encourage developing strategies and programmatic approaches to change school climate. That's a prevention effort within our schools.
When I was 7 years old and in second grade, I was the victim of ongoing and repeated bullying at the elementary school I then attended. The bullying was done by two students that were in the same class as me. The bullying that happened to me included physical harm, verbal threats, intimidation, and stealing. The physical harm and intimidation that happened to me included that I was hit repeatedly in the hallways and other places at school and my teacher wasn't looking. The boys did this because they thought it was funny. Being hit all the time and laughed at made me feel sad and hurt. These same boys pushed me around on the ground every day while I was waiting at the after-school curbside pickup area in the cafeteria. These boys also took my backpack and other belongings every day while I waited in the school area. I didn't like any of this. This made me feel frustrated, angry, and hurt that I couldn't stop my belongings from being taken from me, and I couldn't keep myself from getting pushed around.
My experiences with bullying will stay with me forever, and I can remember when it started getting very bad was in 6th grade. As a 6th grader, I was blocked from the student section at my homecoming football game by a student who told me, "Faggots aren't allowed at sport games, go home." And that was confirmed by the number of adults and students around me who either laughed or stayed silent. The locker rooms in middle school were hell for me. I was constantly threatened and called faggot by the boys in my grade, and my gym teachers ignored any attempts I made to explain to them why I was uncomfortable changing in a room full of boys who were making my life hell. The bullying got so bad that in middle school, I seriously considered taking my life numerous times, and between 7th and 8th grade had a failed suicide attempt. When I ran for student council in 9th grade, I came to school after hanging up my campaign posters to find every single one of them vandalized with Sharpie markers, with faggot written all across them and on the walls. And the thing that broke my heart the most about that incident was that there was only one teacher out of every teacher in that school who was trying to either take them down or scrub off the words. Just one.
And in this manual, it talks about how to combat and to end all forms of homophobia. In this manual, it defines personal homophobia, that the belief that homosexuality is sinful or immoral. So this is what they intend to combat. Will any disagreement with a teacher's pro-homosexual beliefs be viewed as homophobia? Will it be viewed as hate speech or intimidation of another student? This manual clearly states that their goal is to go subject by subject, every grade level, until LGBT issues are integrated throughout the curriculum in every single discipline. This is defined in this manual as inclusive curriculum, and this is the same term that is used on line 13.4 of the bill.
1 day of training of Minnesota's teachers is $16.5 million. That's what it costs. I mean, 1 day of teaching is $16.5 million. So if we were going to add 1 or 2 days of training, top to bottom, for everyone in the staff that's in addition to the other things that we're doing, those are the types of numbers that we're talking about, and that's the commitment that we need in here as well. We have 800,000 public school students in Minnesota. We have 1,700 school principals. That means we end up with about 470 kids per principal, and that's a rather rough average, because a lot of times the principals that don't have direct relationship with kids, those numbers may bounce out to 600, 700. We need staff to do the type of stuff that you're talking about in